Lowdown.
What's up, guys? Welcome to this week's episode of the Liquid Lowdown. I'm Liquid Lola, and there was so much stuff that happened last week. Like, I don't even really know where to start. So let's just, Coming in at number 5 is info out of Disney's D23 Expo this past week. There was a whole bunch of information that came out of D23. Considering that everything Marvel Studios is now Disney, they're giving us so much content for this Disney Plus streaming service. It's really like blowing my mind. Like it's almost like it's too much. Does it feel like it's too much to anybody else? It feels like it's too much to me. But I don't know. Is there such a thing as too much of a good thing? I don't know. Marvel just announced that they're doing a She-Hulk live action series. They're doing a Moon Knight live action series. And they're doing Ms. Marvel. Ms. Marvel is a Pakistani-American teenager, and she's also our first Muslim superhero, which I think is fantastic. It's interesting, though, that they're doing the live action TV series before the live action movie that they already have slated for Ms. Marvel. I think it's because they want to kind of give people an idea of who Ms. Marvel is, and so that they're not confusing her with Captain Marvel. She's a completely different character. She's a polymorph, so she can shapeshift into any form she wants. She can look like anyone. She can go all Mr. Fantastic on you if she wants to. But like when she is like spent, when she's burnt out, she gets stuck in whatever shape she's in. Moon Knight is a little more abstract. He has multiple personalities. He's deals with mental illness, but he's also a vigilante type. His powers were given to him from an Egyptian god of the moon or something like that. And his powers are based on like the phases of the moon. So depending on what's going on with the moon, that's kind of determines how powerful this Moon Knight character is. To me, he seems like the most interesting, and depending on who they get to play Moon Knight, it has to be a great actor. I think this person has to be able to handle nuance. They have to be able to handle these different characters that they're gonna have to play, whether, you know, when you have these multiple personality things happening, you have to be able to emote that, and you have to be able to show that, you know, that you're a different person and understand like the subtleties of different characters. So casting is going to be very, very important for Moon Knight for sure, and writing as well. She-Hulk is also coming to Disney Plus as a live action series. She-Hulk in the comics is Bruce Banner's cousin. She got like this blood transfusion and got some of his like gamma stuff in her blood, and so she's like the Hulk, but she's more controlled. I think it's interesting that they're bringing She-Hulk to the small screen. We don't have any release dates yet for these 3 shows: She-Hulk, Moon Knight, Ms. Marvel. There are no release dates yet. There's no casting news, but just knowing that they're like on the horizon, that they're in the works, is very, very exciting. So that's number 5. New Marvel Studio shows! Coming in at number 4 is news out of Netflix. They've just announced that Kevin Smith, Clerks, Jay and Silent Bob, Kevin Smith is writing, directing, and producing a new HeMan Anime series. What? This is not a reboot, y'all. Like, we're not pressing the reset button. We're picking up where we left off in the 80s. Who does that? Kevin Smith does that. That's who. I'm so excited. They're saying, you know, it's gonna pick up on unresolved storylines. I don't know. What unresolved storylines are there? You know, Skeletor and He-Man, they're always fighting. Let's just do more of that. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it with Kevin Smith at the helm. I am so excited about this. We don't have any release date yet. We don't have much more information other than just that it's gonna happen and that it's gonna be on Netflix. I'm ready. You can give me He-Man anytime you're ready, Kevin Smith. Anytime you're ready, I'm ready. Let's do it. Coming in at number 4 is He-Man, Masters of the Universe, Revelation. Coming in at number 3, once again, is Idris Elba. Now, y'all know, if there's a way for me to get Idris on every single Liquid Lowdown, he will have a number every single week if I can make it happen. Once again, he's made the list because he's in NBA 2K20. In the campaign of the new game, the new NBA 2K20 game, Idris Elba is playing the coach, the basketball coach. He's in it. Rosario Dawson is in it. She's like the counselor for your player. And Tom Middleditch, the guy from Silicon Valley, he's in it. He's like an agent or something. I don't know. They have this whole campaign, but they have Idris and Rosario Dawson in it, which is weird. I even saw Urkel in the trailer, so I don't know what's happening. One thing that is new, that is big news, is the inclusion of WNBA in this version of NBA 2K20. Not only are there exhibition games, but you can play a full season in the WNBA. There are plenty of female players who like to play basketball. There are a lot of female gamers like myself who like to play video games. I've never been a huge basketball fan in general, but I don't know, I'm kind of interested. I like being included, I guess I should say that. People want to diss WNBA and stuff, but there are a lot of girls who grow up and they want to play basketball just like guys do. And it's important to include female athletes in these games as well. I think it means a lot to female gamers. I think it means a lot to male gamers as well. There are guys who will want to play with WNBA characters as well. So I think that representation in video games and in sports games is very important. So it's very exciting, and you know, you're going to throw Idris in there too. So, you know, you already got my attention by dangling Idris in front of me. So I'm kind of interested. We'll see. NBA 2K20 has a September 6th release date. So you have time to play the demo, work on your character, and then when the game comes out September 6th, all that stuff carries over. So that's number 3, NBA 2K20 with Idris. Coming in at number 2 is the thing that blew my mind. Y'all, they're doing a Matrix. They're doing a Matrix 4. What? What? They're doing another Matrix. Like, yeah, like 20 years later, there's another Matrix. What? That news came out last week and like my mouth just dropped open. Keanu Reeves is going to be in it. He's signed on to do it. Carrie-Anne Moss is signed on to do it. So we have our Neo, we have our Trinity. What does this mean? Okay, now I have certain feelings about The Matrix. The Matrix, the original, is one of my favorite movies of all time, if not my favorite movie of all time. Just the psychology of it, the psychology of the Matrix, and like what they presented in that first film was like mind-blowing. Like it really was mind-blowing. It was a bit of a mind, you know what I'm saying? Then they did the other 2 movies, which I mean, yeah, I enjoyed them, but it got really, really like super sci-fi for the next 2 movies. And I always kind of felt that those 2 movies weren't necessary. They really weren't necessary. Like, we had The Matrix, that really should have been, in my opinion, a standalone situation. Now they're coming back with The Matrix 4. And Lana Wachowski, writer and director from the first one, it used to be the Wachowski brothers. They are transgender. They're now the Wachowski sisters, Lily and Lana. The last time Lily and Lana worked together was on Sense8, the series that they did for Netflix, which was a cool series. That was a cool series. If you guys haven't watched it, you should check it out. Lana Wachowski is absolutely on board. She has the blessing of her sister, so she's going to be doing this new Matrix 4. We have no information about it. Like, where are they? Is it Zion? What is happening? Were they still in the Matrix the whole time? Like, what is happening? Is he still the one? Was he not the one? Is there a new one? What? What is this gonna be? I don't know. But please tell me, somebody please tell me, because I cannot wait to see another Matrix. Even though I was disappointed in number 2 and number 3, bring me number 4 and I will line up and get my ticket like now for it whenever it comes out. There's no word on Lawrence Fishburne, you know, whether, you know, his involvement or anything. There's no No news about that. All I know is they better come correct with this. Like, if you're gonna come back 20 years later and try and do another Matrix, y'all better really bring it. Y'all better really bring it. I can't wait to hear more information about the Matrix 4. Just the fact that it is a go. You know, there have been rumors, there have been like little sprinklings in the universe for a while now that there was maybe something happening with it, but there was no concrete confirmation until last week. So, I don't know. We just have to wait and see. So hopefully somebody will tell us something, because I need to know what's going on with Neo and Trinity. Like, where are they? What are they doing? They got kids? Like, what's up, y'all? What y'all been doing on Zion? That's number 2, The Matrix 4. And of course, coming in at number 1. Sony and Disney, what the hell are y'all doing? What are you doing? Like, y'all were printing money. You were literally firing up the printing press, putting in your paper, putting in your ink, and just printing money with this partnership. What happened? Why are y'all greedy? Who's greedy? Who's more greedy? Who, like, what? This is the thing that it had me on an emotional roller coaster all last week. It had me on an emotional roller coaster. Like, first the news came out that Sony and Disney could not come to an agreement. Now, as you know, SpiderMan, the film rights for SpiderMan are owned by Sony. So they own the film rights. Now, they did a decent job with Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. Like, you know, that was a fun movie. The first one was a fun movie, even though Tobey Maguire was a little older than he really should have been for Peter Parker, but whatever. Like, we all took it. It was fine. Like, you know, I enjoyed it. But then you did those other 2 movies that weren't all that great. Then, Sony, you decided to do a reboot that no one asked for. And then we got those tragic Andrew Garfield movies where y'all literally tried to ruin Spider-Man. You literally tried to ruin Spider-Man. So, you know, you did these 3 movies that were like, okay, why are y'all still doing this to us? Like, why are you doing this to us? Like, why? Then there's like sounds in the air about Marvel Studios getting the rights to produce the Spider-Man movies for Sony, that they had come to this agreement. And everyone rejoiced. The whole world rejoiced that Spider-Man was going to be in the MCU. We got the scene with the Black Panther and Ant-Man and Captain America and Iron Man and and Spider-Man. Y'all are making my head hurt. Y'all are making my head hurt with this. Y'all are literally making my head hurt. Why? Why did you have to do this to the fans? I mean, you know, I read about the deal. I read about the deal and the split and whatever. It's all boring to me because I'm like, rich is rich. Like, rich is rich. Like, why? What? I was hoping that with the D23 Expo, Disney's Expo, then maybe there would be like some sort of information that comes out that there was like, okay guys, we were just joking, like we were just playing, we were just messing with y'all, we came to an agreement, whatever, it's all good. No, that did not happen. Some poor fans even put up a shrine outside of the D23 Expo for Spider-Man. People are nuts. Y'all are crazy. Y'all are crazy. But yeah, and then Tom Holland, he even gets up there and he's like, you know, well, you know, I'm still happy to be Spider-Man. I love you 3000. Like, what? If we're taking Spider-Man out of the MCU, what happens to all those character plots? What happens to all those interminglings of storylines? What happens to Aunt May and Happy? Why? Why would you do this to us? First off, Sony, Disney came in, Marvel Studios came in, and they fixed your mess. They fixed the mess that you made of Spider-Man. They came in, they brought us a true Peter Parker. They brought us a proper Peter Parker, a good Spider-Man, a right tone Spider-Man. They brought us back a Spider-Man we could all love. And now y'all are just gonna be like, oh, thanks for fixing that for us. We'll have Spider-Man back now. What? Then when you find out that Kevin Feige, I think I'm saying his name right, the head of Marvel Studios, that he even had a hand in Venom. So y'all think that y'all are gonna sit there and take Spider-Man with all the hard work that Marvel Studios put in there to bring Spider-Man back to life after y'all tried to kill him. You have this Venom movie, which, you know, Sony produced the Venom movie, but then you find out that Marvel Studios had a little something to do with that too. So now you're gonna take Venom. I'm assuming they want to put, you know, Venom and Spider-Man back together or whatever, and proper villain situation. Fine, do it. But why does that have to be at the expense of having Spider-Man in the larger whole of the MCU? Especially now that Disney also has Fox Studios, that they also have the X-Men, they also have Deadpool. Like, y'all want to be in your own little island? You want to be on Spider-Man Island by yourselves? Away from the rest of the Marvel family? Is it really all money? I just don't get it. You know, Sony had a successful game, a successful video game with the Spider-Man game that they had. They're having another video game coming out, you know, Spider-Man 2 video game. That's great, that's fantastic. But when it comes to the film rights, why wouldn't you continue this partnership? I'm still hopeful that they will be able to come to some sort of agreement, some sort of something. Like, even if Sony does their own thing, it would still be nice to be able to have Spider-Man in on the larger stories. I just think that it's just a huge mistake. I think they've really let fans down. I know I feel let down. You know, I've been the most excited about Spider-Man that I've been in a very long time. And, you know, it just feels like Sony just kind of pulled the rug out from under all of us. I'm still hoping that it's like some sort of publicity stunt, or just a misunderstanding, or something that they're still working on in the background. It kind of seems like it's done at this point, but you never know. You never know. And I would just ask Disney and Sony to get it together and give the fans what they want. This week has been rough with Spider-Man news, so yeah. So that's number 1, Spider-Man leaving the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Anyway, that's it for this week's The Liquid Lowdown. I hope you liked what I talked about. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. And if you're not already following me over on Twitch, please make sure to come on over and hang out with me on Tuesdays for my live stream, Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. That's all I have for you this week. I will be back next week with a brand new The Liquid Lowdown. Until next time, I'll see you then. Bye.
The Liquid Lowdown.